Back courtside here at the Ginny Craig Pavilion in San Diego. Chris King joined by Craig Elo. Our post-game coverage rolls on. Washington State a 65-61 win over San Diego. And taking a look at some of the positives here, Eggs, 27 points from Nate Calmes in this game tonight. That ties his season high. He had 27 in the loss against Iowa. So when the Cougs needed some offense, and it was a tough night offensively, Calmes just had 5 points in the first half, so coming through with 22 in the second half. Calmes really the catalyst offensively for Washington State. And then Dane Erickstrup with his first double-double in a WSU uniform. The Eastern Washington transfer, 12 points and 10 rebounds. So a couple of bright spots that stand out on a night that otherwise was tougher for the Cougs than they would have liked.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree with you. I thought Nate was having a really bad first half. I mean, some of the decisions that he was making and almost kind of forcing things, but boy, did he calm down and really put the Cougs on his shoulders here in the second half, and much needed because there was no offense anywhere else.
And we have the head coach of the Cougs.
A win's a win.
Joining us right now, David Riley coming down, pulling up a chair, putting on the headset. Washington State gets the victory 65-61. Kind of said it on our post-game coverage. Maybe not how you envisioned it going in, but the team comes out on top. How do you look back on everything that unfolded here in San Diego tonight?
I think there's a lot of good lessons from this game. There were some things that we did really well those first 4 minutes, and it got us a lead. We played together. We played unselfish. Got a lot of paint touches. We had 7 baskets and 7 assists. Played pretty bad for some stretches there, and I just think like the last couple weeks I haven't done a good enough job of keeping our team in reality, and I think we took some steps back, and it didn't happen in one day. There was a couple things that slipped here, a couple things that slipped there while we're on a little winning streak, and what you're seeing right now is us fighting to get that back. I think Monday we had a good film session. Tuesday, Wednesday we had good practices. They were detail oriented, but it was still a little clunky because we kind of lost a step. We weren't used to playing the right way, and I think we're kind of looking at how hard it is to build that back. And so our guys are understanding that. They're understanding how hard it is to win, especially on the road. So there's a lot to take from this. We kind of had a rough game last week for Pacific. We didn't play the right way. I'd say it was very similar to this game, but the beauty of it is we found a way to win today, so that's growth.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, and I think the whole thing, and we kind of, it was a sparse crowd, mainly Cougars though.
Yeah.
But I mean, we're sitting right next to you, so I could hear you on the bench and stuff. In the second half, there was a lot of don't gamble, stay in containment, and your defense is really what got you back into this ball game.
We had some really good stands. There was 4 or 5 possessions in a row. It felt like they were at the end of the shot clock, and that's.
They had 2 full possessions shot clock, but I totally think I thought we stood around in the first half a lot, but the second half we got better at containing, and we got out rebounded and we gave up a lot of offensive boards. But these are all things that you just said that you can work on and get better at.
There's a lot of growth in this team, and what I appreciate about these guys is they've never made excuses. They've never pointed the finger, and I think that we're looking at a team that's got a lot of room to improve, and we're still winning games. So there's a lot of excitement and positivity, I think, right now.
In that first half, it was tough offensively. 25 points. We're not used to seeing that low of a number for this team, but turning around and scoring 40 in the second half. Nate, a big catalyst to that at 5 points at halftime, 27 in the second half. Is it him that the bulk of the credit goes to? What would you say allowed the team to kind of get things kick-started offensively?
He's a huge part of it offensively. What he was able to do, get into the paint and finding a way to make plays, really got some energy back into us and some life into us. And I think our defense gave us some energy as well. And, Nate's a competitor. Like, he's been learning how to use that energy in the right ways and use that for winning, and I've never doubted his. I just love it, and he was not going to let us lose tonight.
There was some surprises for them. I mean, I don't know if your scouting report adds little Joey making all the shots he did, but did anything catch you off surprise that y'all could approve as a coaching and scouting?
I think, at times we tried to get a little gimmicky defensively, especially in that first half, and we were kind of throwing stuff at the wall, and we just got to trust our stuff. You look at all the best defensive teams, they know who they are, and they're going to stick with it even when times are tough. And I look back at, when I was watching Tony Bennett's teams here at Washington State, and they were going to play their defense and their style no matter what. They weren't going to change it up, and I think we do that offensively, and I got to get a little better defensively of just trusting our stuff. And when we do it, we showed in the second half, we can be pretty dang good.
Can I add one thing? I went to Cedric for keys today, and his first key was details. And I totally agreed with it because I know as a staff, y'all talk about details, spacing, where you should be, blockouts, all that stuff, and Cedric was dead on.
He was dead on. I wish we had a little more detail on those blockouts tonight.
Yeah.
17-0 boards is crazy.
Well, the Cougs get to go back home, flying back tonight off of a victory, 65-61, the final score, and then back at it coming up Saturday at Beasley. Something we mentioned, I think worth repeating, this is like the Portland game and maybe just the number of people here. It wasn't as many people, but I'm seeing 70-30 Coug fans tonight. As you kind of look through the crowd at some points, could you tell, hey, this is mostly a WSU crowd, and we're so far away from Pullman down here in San Diego?
It definitely was. We got in that run in the second half, and it was loud in here. It's a special thing coaching here and with the alumni base that we have at Washington State. And it just keeps on showing up.
The team gets the win, 4-2 in conference play, win number 14 on the season. Congrats on the victory,
yes.
And we'll be back, all of us at it, coming up Saturday, 3 o'clock tip-off against Portland.
Go Cougs.